Once you have your piece of clay, what you're going to learn how to do next is wedge it. Who remembers what's wedging important for? No, wedging? What's wedging? Yeah, it removes bubbles. So you're gonna have to stand up for this part, and you slam the clay down like this, and then you fold it, and you push down like that. And you keep kind of like you're kneading dough or something like that. You stand up, put your weight into it. If you're sitting, it's not really gonna work, so you have to stand up. And you do this for a good 5 minutes. There's other ways to wedge clay. This is like the easiest way to wedge clay. Basically, you fold, kind of push away from yourself, and then pick it up and slam it down. Get all your angst out on the clay. So that's what you're gonna do to wedge your clay. That's the first step. That's a good question. How do you know when to stop? We'll do it for a good 5 minutes when I tell you to, basically. Sometimes you'll be able to tell, you can time yourself. Other times you'll be able to tell. Sometimes, this clay's pretty consistent, it looks like. Sometimes you'll open it up and it'll be kind of marbled a little bit, and you'll notice some differences in the coloration of the clay. Once that goes away and the clay looks really consistent, that's another way to tell. But if the clay already looks consistent, you just have to wedge it for at least like 5 minutes to get it to be consistent. Once you've wedged your clay for a good 5 minutes, you're going to wedge it into like a block. So then what you're going to do is, see how I'm turning it and kind of pounding it down into a brick shape. Make sure you've wedged it really good before you do this step. Make sure that you've wedged it. Until you want a block that looks like this, maybe a little bit thinner. Once you've rolled out once you've pounded out your clay to look like a shape like this, like a square, and it's about an inch thick or so, you're gonna take your roller and start in the middle and roll out. And don't roll over the edges. You don't want to keep roll, because then the edges are gonna get too thin. And your goal is to make a slab that's consistent thickness. So roll from the center out towards the edges, but then stop and kind of roll off the edges and don't push down on the edges, if that makes sense. Every few rolls, pick up your slab and flip it. That way it keeps it from sticking and it'll roll a more even slab. You want to roll your slab out to about a 1/2 inch thickness. Usually they'll be thinner, but because we're going to be carving wells in it for your paint palette, you don't want it to be thinner really than 1/2 inch. And I'm not really pushing down hard. I want this to be even, so I'm just kind of gently rolling over it. From the center out, you want it to kind of form a circle. It's getting there. And then place your template over it and make sure that it fits over it. We're not gonna, and then that's where we're gonna pause. Once you're done doing that, you're going to take your slab and put it inside your bag. Make sure it's flat, and make sure before that you wrote your name and period on your bag. And then tomorrow I'm going to show you how to cut your template from the slab.